Thanks for clicking. My name is Amanda McKnight and I'll be your host for this nerdy list. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Batman, or more specifically, which superheroes our Dark Knight respects the most. Speaking of Batman...
Hey, I'm Batman. No! Hey, I'm Batman!
I'm wondering who your Batman is in the comments below. My Batman is Michael Keaton. Here's your top 10 superheroes Batman respects. Number 10. Nightwing, also known as Dick Grayson. Dick was Batman's first Robin, belonging to a circus family called the Flying Graysons. After the death of his parents, Dick became the ward of Bruce Wayne and adopted the mantle of Robin as Batman's sidekick. The two went on many crime-fighting adventures together, and no matter what version of these two you're looking at, they're pretty much always depicted as being inseparable. Batman and Dick have a father-son relationship that is explored throughout all the DC series, cartoons, and films they are in. After leading the Teen Titans, Dick decides to become his own superhero and adopts the name Nightwing. Striking out on his own, Nightwing shares a lot of Batman's morals, although the two don't always see eye to eye. In the aftermath of the Prodigal Son series, Batman reveals to Dick that when he first left Gotham, he didn't pick Dick to take his place as Batman due to the fact that he respected Dick and his independence. Number 9. The Flash, Barry Allen. Known to be the fastest man alive, Barry Allen, as the Flash, is also one of the founding members of the Justice League. Although Batman and the Flash have teamed up many times with other members of the Justice League, they have also had a few adventures of their own. For these moments, we have to go back in comic history. We can see them team up in some old issues of The Brave and the Bold, and more recently see their bond deepen in Flashpoint, where the Flash travels to an alternate timeline where Batman's dad is still alive. He even brings Batman back a letter from his dad. Number 8. Zatanna Zatara. Zatanna is a skilled stage magician and also a famous sorceress. She has been a member of the Justice League and Sentinels of Magic. Batman and Zatanna have been friends since childhood, and were also at one point romantically linked. Bruce trusted and respected Zatanna. He's occasionally depicted teaming up with her and coming to her for help. In the animated series, he specifically comes to her when looking for assistance when Wonder Woman is transformed into a pig. She promises to help him and Diana in any way she can. Currently, the two are on a bit of rocky ground, as it is revealed in DC's Identity Crisis that Zatanna actually wiped Batman's memory when he tried to stop her from wiping the memory of the supervillain Dr. Light. However, he still calls on her for assistance and is even back to referring to her by her nickname Z. This is a feat in and of itself. After all, it is one thing to lose the Dark Knight's trust, but I imagine winning back the Dark Knight's trust could only be done if you are held in the highest regards. Number 7. Harvey Dent. I know what you're thinking. Harvey Dent, as in Two-Face? Are you crazy, Amanda? But I'm not talking about Two-Face, I'm talking about Harvey Dent. Let's not forget about the awesome Nolan Brothers films, which happens to be my second favorite film version of the Bat. In these films, we get a really good look at Harvey Dent before he became Two-Face. This is Harvey Dent, DA of Gotham City. And although he isn't a formal superhero, I would argue that being DA of Gotham City is almost as hard, if not harder, for all the bad guys he's putting away. He should get an honorary hero status. In fact, in the Dark Knight film, Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent end up having dinner together, and as a result of their conversation, and because of Batman's faith in and respect for Dent, Wayne offers to throw him a fundraiser for his future re-election. Number 6. Daredevil. Daredevil is a Marvel superhero of his own creation, much like Batman. Daredevil, also known as Matt Murdock, grows up with his dad. After an accident that leaves him blind but gives him radar-like senses, he is trained by Stick. His father, who is a boxer, ends up dying after not losing to what was supposed to be a fixed boxing match. As a result of winning the fight, his dad is shot by his own promoter who had ordered him to take the dive. After his father's death, Murdock continues to be trained by Stick and seeks revenge on those that had killed his father, which he does eventually get. Later, he grows up to be a lawyer and actually crosses paths frequently with our number 7 on this list, Harvey Dent. This is revealed to us in the crossover comic Daredevil / Batman, Eye for an Eye. Batman and Daredevil having similar moral codes and stories, it does not surprise me that these two would team up together. In this comic, it is obvious that they trust and respect one another when they team up to take down Two-Face and Mr. Hyde. Number 5. Talia al Ghul. Talia grows up as Ra al Ghul's daughter. Although GHUL doesn't usually think much of women, it becomes apparent that Talia is the most skilled of his children. She eventually becomes his right hand. She has an excellent head for business, is highly intelligent, and a trained assassin. Although she is usually seen as a villain, Batman still respects her because he loves her. When he first met her, he saved her from the death of the hands of the League of Assassins. Later, she ends up killing the League of Assassins in order to save Batman's life. The two help each other here and there, and Talia appears to be fiercely loyal to Batman. When Damian, Batman and Talia's son, appears on Batman's doorstep, Batman isn't sure if this is his son, but instead of refusing Talia, he just takes Damian in. Number 4. Catwoman, Selina Kyle. Catwoman might not always be playing for the good guys, but regardless, you cannot deny that her and Batman share a connection. Batman trusts her so much, the two were recently engaged to be married. Catwoman even stole a $28,000 wedding dress. It's amazing to think, but this dynamic duo have been starring together since the 1940s. Although the wedding didn't end up happening, we can always think back to that time Anne Hathaway's Selina Kyle and Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne made it work. Number 3. Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. Barbara Gordon is Commissioner Jim Gordon's daughter. She eventually joins Dick and Bruce as Batgirl. Batgirl eventually retires from fighting crime, but ends up becoming paralyzed when the Joker shoots her in the back. Although at first very depressed, she eventually overcomes her depression and takes up the name Oracle, creating a super powerful computer system which she uses in tandem with a comm system to help Batman and Robin fight crime from home. A few years ago, she miraculously recovered from her injuries and is back to fighting crime once more. She has always been portrayed as having a father-daughter relationship with Batman in the comics, though there are some different things happening with her relationship to Batman in the animated series, and now in the DC Comics series Batman the Killing Joke. You can just Google that for yourself. Number 2. Wonder Woman. Also known as Diana of Themyscira, Wonder Woman is a member of the Justice League and an Amazonian princess. She has super strength, speed, and is often armed with her lasso of truth and magic gauntlets. She often comes to Batman's rescue in the comics, and Batman often comes to hers. The two have a long-standing on and off romantic relationship as well, and their love for each other, I think, is also a sign of that mutual respect. Number 1. Superman. Also known as Clark Kent. Superman is probably one of the strongest guys in the DC universe. So strong that I think it sometimes makes it hard for us to relate to the character on screen. Superman, born as Kal-El, is a Kryptonian from the planet Krypton, and was sent to the planet Earth by his parents as a last-ditch effort to save the poor baby. He grows up on Earth with his adoptive parents and is raised like a normal country human boy. These two are probably the best of friends in the comics. Batman even makes Superman the best man at his wedding to Catwoman, which, as I mentioned earlier, sadly does not happen. There are constant examples in the intense mutual respect in the comics, from them admiring each other's strengths and abilities to reaching out to each other in times of need. If you don't believe me, just check out this photo. Okay, so that may have never happened, but hey, I'd ship it. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to click that thumbs up, tap that subscribe, and let me know who you think Batman respects the most in the comments below, superhero or otherwise. I'm Amanda McKnight, this is Top 10 Nerd, and until we meet again, you stay nerdy, YouTube.